What's up everyone, and welcome back to Top 5 Central. Today we're looking at the top 5 dumbest reasons kids got banned from school. Now we all know by now that school has a ton of dumb rules, and because of them, a lot of kids get in trouble for literally no reason, so drop a like right now if you hate dumb school rules. Also, just a quick reminder that we're still holding this week's Amazon gift card giveaway. If you like free money, make sure you click subscribe and leave a comment for a chance to win, as we'll be giving away a ton of more stuff over the next little while. Anyways, with that said, let's get right into the video. Number 5. Now, schools having rules about hair is nothing new, but considering this guy isn't even breaking any of them, the fact that he could be kicked out is pretty ridiculous. I mean, apparently the issue is that his dreads aren't allowed because it could just be a fashion trend, but both him and his mom say that it's actually a part of his culture. Not just that, but the school rulebook said nothing about dreads. It just said that hair wasn't allowed to be longer than his collar, and he keeps his dreads tied up, meaning it isn't. So there should be no problem, right? Well, actually there is, because the headmaster saw the kid refusing to cut his hair as defiant, and has been putting him in isolation, as well as threatening to kick him out. Honestly, I find it pretty crazy, especially since the school wouldn't usually expel people for wearing their hair the way their religion tells them to, but for some dumb reason it seems like this school just doesn't care. So yeah, even though he's technically not doing anything wrong, he's getting in trouble, which makes me think about all the times you guys probably got in trouble for no reason too. If you have any crazy stories of you getting in trouble in school, leave a comment right now of it and I'll pin the best one.
It's not a fashion trend.
So here's the problem. I think, the school have their policy, and you can argue it one way or the other with you, but you can also argue surely the school, before they took Chickasee on board, they should have understood the child that they were accepting into the school, surely.
Or told you that that hair wasn't acceptable.
Yes.
Did you have any kind of conversation with them?
Not about my son's hair, because as far as I was concerned, it was not an issue. As far as, in my opinion, it was not an issue. I went to several occasions to different meetings in the school. Everything they send us to go to, I will go. I bring my son with me. I had a meeting, not a meeting as such, a conversation with the headmaster. He shook my hand, he shook Chickasee's hand, he said, "Welcome to Fulham Boys School." He said it'll be a pleasure.
Okay.
Number 4. So this is one of those situations where even if you think the kid did something wrong, it's still hard to accept that the punishment the school chose was the right one. Like, it's true this guy had been suspended from school a couple of other times before, but they were both for things that sound pretty ridiculous, and this one isn't any different. Basically, he used to hug teachers and students all the time, but apparently one teacher felt uncomfortable, and instead of talking to him or his mother, she straight up got him suspended. Like, you're probably thinking that's crazy, but the school took the teacher's side based on his previous record, and told him he wasn't allowed to come back to school for a whole year. That seems really harsh, because it means he has to miss senior year and graduation, which will make it much harder for him to get a job while he waits. I don't know guys, I think the punishment was way too extreme, but if you disagree, feel free to let me know what you think in the comments.
And have you hugged this teacher before?
Yes, plenty of times, 4 to 5 times.
4 or 5 times? And other teachers?
Other teachers too, even if they haven't taught me.
This particular teacher apparently says that she warned you not to hug her, is that true?
No, sir.
So you never had any kickback at all to any of these hugs?
No, sir.
Did other students hug teachers?
Yeah, other students, teachers hug teachers.
Right, but that's different. I mean,
Yeah,
students hug teachers?
Students hug teachers as well.
You don't think there's anything inappropriate about what you did?
No, sir.
Because I watched the video, and because you've been banned for a year, right? Suspended
right.
from the school for a year, which seems an extraordinary punishment. My view is what you did, it looks a bit inappropriate, if I'm honest. Right. I've got 3 sons around your age. If one of them did that to a teacher, I would be, as a parent, a bit concerned. I was like, whoa, hang on. Right. You can't do that to a teacher. But I certainly wouldn't expect you to be suspended for a year.
Number 3. Okay, so the craziest thing about this story is that the poor girl's actually trying to follow the rules and not be banned from class, but there's literally nothing she could do about it. I mean, most kids have played around with dyeing their hair at some point, and using Kool-Aid to color your hair at sleepovers has been a thing for years. Anyway, that's exactly what this kid did, but even after washing her hair lots of times, the color just wasn't coming out. And then that brings us to our problem, because instead of understanding or just telling her to tie her hair up until it faded, the school straight up suspended her and told her she couldn't come back until the color was gone. Now, if she was refusing to fix her hair, it would be a totally different story, but she and her dad have tried everything, and because her hair is blonde, the blue dye just won't leave. So yeah, it seems super mean to punish her for something so silly, but I guess it's kind of just what schools do.
And tonight, a 10-year-old bright Indiana girl isn't being allowed to go to school because she colored her hair with Kool-Aid. Her father says he's tried every home remedy to get his daughter's hair back to her natural color, but without success.
When she got home from school today, the first thing is, Dad, I've been suspended because of my hair. And I was aghast.
What's your biggest fear?
That I'm going to fail the 5th grade.
if this doesn't come out.
The color of Rachel Neely's hair has put her on suspension as of tomorrow. The Neely showed us the note that Rachel brought home from school today, saying that all of the hair coloring needed to be out before she could go back to class. Charles Neely says he and Rachel have done just about everything they can at home.
Essentially, we're trying to wash it out. Just, regular showers, she shampoos. But her hair's very fine and it's blonde.
It was hard for us to see any coloring in Rachel's hair until we looked at the back.
Number 2. So school is supposed to be all about teaching kids to be kind and do the right thing, but honestly, it seems like this one school is sending a completely different message. Basically, this 11-year-old girl noticed that her classmates were constantly being bullied by one teacher, so she decided to do something about it. I'm not even joking, she filmed the teacher one day on her phone hoping the school would do something to protect the students, but in fact she was sent to the principal's office and then suspended. Now technically I understand why this happened. It is illegal in some states to film people without them knowing, but obviously the girl's 11 and isn't exactly an expert on the law. Like, all she wanted to do was stop her friends being bullied. It's something the school should really support, so it seems pretty crazy that she's being taught that standing up for what is right is actually a bad thing.
What she says depicted her teacher bullying another student. She thought she was doing the right thing, but she says the school said her video was illegal.
11-year-old Brianna Cooper has good grades and works hard at Samuel Gaines Academy in Fort Pierce. But a video on her phone got her suspended for 5 days.
I thought I did the right thing.
Brianna says one of her science teachers was being mean to a student, so she took out her cell phone and started recording what she says were threats by her teacher to a classmate.
Don't let the science fool you. I will drop you. Yeah, right. You don't know me. That's all I'm telling you. So don't give me no look.
Brianna says the teacher had been mean to students before. This time she wanted to prove it.
You think that they would actually believe a student over a teacher?
Biggest kid in 5th grade and you acting like the smallest one. I wonder what your mom looks like.
You don't speak to children, let alone your students, like that.
Number 1. Okay, so pretty much every school has a dress code, and it's supposed to help kids concentrate on their work, but I think this story proves that going too far can make it do the exact opposite. I mean, this student had a 4.4 average and was being offered multiple full-ride scholarships for college, but now she might not be allowed to graduate, all because of a shirt. So basically, she wore a shirt that was almost off her shoulders, and when the teacher told her that wasn't okay, she borrowed a friend's jacket and wore it over the top. Now that should have been the end of it, but the teacher asked her to go change, and when she refused because her mother wasn't there to see how she was being treated, they threatened to arrest her. As it was, she ended up being suspended for 10 days, which was enough to stop her from getting her diploma. It's, well, pretty ridiculous, especially since she worked so hard for so long, and she wasn't even wearing the shirt for long enough to distract anybody anyway.
I'll never wear the shirt.
Summer knew when she wore that shirt to Hickory Ridge High.
I had it right here, so the tops of my shoulders.
She could be violating the dress code.
It's usually taken really seriously.
The school makes it clear off-the-shoulder tops are not allowed, and the principal came to enforce it in the cafeteria.
She came up to me, she said, "Do you have a jacket?" I said, "No, I don't."
A friend gave Summer one of hers. She thought that was the end of it.
And then I, pulled it up. Pulled the jacket over it, zipped up the jacket.
But Summer says the principal wasn't satisfied, ordered her to go to the office to change. The honor roll senior has had issues with the principal before, to the point where her mother had to get involved.
I said, "I apologize, but I can't go anywhere with you unless my mom is on the phone."
So Summer sat and waited for her mom's call. That's when Summer says the principal called the SRO for backup.
Officer Elwood was within 5 feet of me, he had his hand on his gun. She said, "I'm going to give you an ultimatum. We have tried to call your mother. You either come with me to the control room to change your shirt, or we will arrest you."
And there's a video on the top 5 dumbest reasons kids got banned from school. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to leave a like down below and subscribe so you see whenever I upload a video. Also, if you have your own top 5 or top 10 idea, feel free to use the Extremely Handy form in the description to submit it. With that said, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.